get from you, yeah. You get that kind of loving that can be so smooth, yeah. Give me your heart and make it real, or else forget about it. Don't you forget about it now. Man, it's a hot one. I don't like to participate in tournaments.
Like 7 inches from the midday sun. I'll tell you one thing.
Ta-da. If you would leave it be a crying shame. Keep going to me. Okay, what'd you do? Man, it's a hot one. You're gonna bring your queen out already? You're gonna lose this game. Like 7 inches from the midday sun. Da-da. Don't you forget about it. Well, I hear you whisper and the words melt everyone, but you stay so cool. My Moniquita, my Spanish Harlem Mona Lisa. You're my reason for reason. The step in my groove. And if you said, this life ain't good enough, I would give my world to lift you up. I could change my life to better, so charmant. Because you're so smooth. And it's just like the ocean under the moon. Yeah, it's the same as the emotion that I get from you. Yeah, you get that kind of love that can be so smooth. Yeah. Give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it. Yeah. I don't love. There's a lot that can happen when I push my G pawn. I should have just taken it. I'll tell you one thing. I'm singing, I'm not thinking. If you believe it be a crying shame. In every breath and every word,
I hear your name calling me out. Out from the barrio. You hear my rhythm on the radio. You feel the turn of the world so soft and slow. It's turning you round, 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 round. And you say, this life ain't good enough. I would give my world to lift you up. I would change my life to better, so charmant. Because you're so smooth. Hey, and it's just like the ocean under the moon, and it's the same as the emotion that I get from you. Yeah,
You got that kind of loving that can be so smooth. Give me your heart and make it real. Let's forget about it. Singing, I'm not thinking. I got some nice bishops. I just let them have it. Let me have a bishop here. That kind of loving that can be so smooth. And give me your heart, just make it real. Or else forget about it. The hell kind of a move is that? I don't understand. Okay, so if you take, I take, and then you're gonna go there. And then I will simply go there. And that pawns, I mean, you're gonna have to do something. I feel like you're just allowing me basically to preserve my bishop pair. And I don't get it. You don't really want to go anywhere there. So now you're pretty much committed to taking my queen. You want to double your pawns? Just because I was singing songs. Well, double your pawns, I guess. Okay. Poorly played by the enemy. Figured. I want to freeze that. I want that stuck. I'm not sure how I'm going to attack you, but I'll get there. So now, no, that's a bad move because now, you didn't punish me for it, though. Thank God. Because that would have been a devastating setback. So immediately you need to defend that. That pin would have been annoying as heck. So why would I give it back to you, right? Well, we're going to pull our forces back. This pawn is going to be lovely because now my knight in support also won't be hard to slide a rook. Won't be hard at all. I kind of like my rook to slide anyway. Sure. Making there. Now I do have to take one. Okay, so let's leave that pawn ISO'd. Because then you can kind of rejoin stuff, right? This is an important move. Boom. You have to do with your pawn. So then those pawns can kind of coordinate in front of my king. Otherwise, you have this lonely pawn. If I take there, then you take, then those pawns are together. It doesn't matter a whole lot because your bishop is going to get. What we're going to do is recognize that risk there. I don't really see how I stop it, but it's not a problem either because when you discover, I'll simply hide, and there's really not much risk that I see anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see it. That should be fine. See, your point. I mean, I'm a little bit annoyed. The enemy has the bishop here. I kind of wanted, but at the same time, a big key to making that next jump from the 18 or 1900s to better, like at my peak, is. So that's how you want to play it? Are you certain you want to play it that way? Because I probably wouldn't if I were you. Okay, so then if that comes, what we'll do is we'll slide there first. I think that's the play. I don't want to give you those checks. You want to lose the game? I'll allow the loss of the game. But it's only because you asked for it. I'm simply giving you your Christmas wish. No, it's a VIP. It's a very important pawn because now my pawns, as I mentioned, the pawns are weird. There's some stuff that could happen to make them fine, but certainly weird. And my pawns are very obviously good, like immediately. And you don't have time for your rook to do anything while I'm there. You don't want to lose both of them, man. What are you doing? Terrible. It's a terrible job. It's a flawed play by the enemy. Bad job. Poor job. All right, I got to focus though. These pawns are just too nice compared to your pawns. That pawn's not going to be able to advance. My rook is active. That rook can get active, especially if the bishop's not controlling anything. Instincts. I'm not even thinking anymore. Also, I'm up 4, so that's kind of why I'm not thinking. If you don't accept my exchange, boom. And then I don't think I have anything that could be annoying. No. Now you do have to take it, right? Pretty much. Because you're done. You're toast. You're toast. I wouldn't even eat if I was hungry. So burned. I am the Grinch on Christmas. Here to put coal on enemies' chest stockings. Really hoping for a sub battle though, because my blitz is really phenomenal right now. Well, for someone who never played as a kid and stuff. I spent my upbringings on baseball and football fields, dreaming of piano lessons. Didn't even know chess existed. And it's gonna be you're gonna think Christmas, it's Halloween. I'm not even playing well. I'm singing Rob Thomas to you. I'm stupid, but I don't need to because the chess is so sexy. Yeah, see, and that's what, especially when I'm distracted. I mean, the big problem with me and probably for all adults, there are so many things that playing as a kid can do. But the one thing I don't think can really be replicated or repaired as an adult is just the ease of which they do it. I have to be so intentional. Even things that especially if you watch my early videos when I was starting out, I would write down focus points. And sometimes just one, if it was something such as, I'm going to put my queen in the center in the middle and late middle game. Not because it's always the right thing to do, because sometimes it's necessary. And if I don't learn to do that, I'll never be good. I don't care if I blunder it. I don't care how bad this is. My queen will be fighting. And it will get trapped, and it did. I'll lose games, and I did. But eventually I got more comfortable with getting my queen in the party in spite of a lot of material still being left. But I still, like, if I don't actively think about, okay, you're bringing your queen out, Dayton. Here's why you're doing it. And here's the risk. And I'm talking to myself every move to make sure I don't forget, like, risks. I'm going to blunder my queen. And I think for kids that just sit around and do puzzles all day, have no responsibilities, they would never. They could sing, they could dance, they could pick their nose, and they could literally just in their sleep. But I'm just not thinking. I'm singing. Gotta be very intentional. Adult improver, which I'll punch you in the face if you ever call me an adult improver. I've never thrown a punch at a human in my life. Yeah. You want to, yeah, and see, that's what I mentioned is at this level, which is, I said this too, which is why I think that a lot of people would like me. I'm concerned that some masters might not love me
because eventually, like I could realistically play. I'm not saying I'm going to be as good as them, but for one game every now and then, once I get really good, or to my peak at least, another year or two, where I'm still young, I still have a lot of mental energy and drive, but I'm also skilled, and I've lost more games, and so I've learned from my mistakes. I could draw a master, absolutely, not consistently. But the way I look at it, from talking to people, watching a few games, and I'm competent enough with chess where I can appreciate good players. And the way I see it, masters are very, very good. They're very good. They're good at a lot of things. I'd say sometimes they're not great at anything yet. International masters are psychopaths in the most complimentary way. They probably don't mess up unless tricked by a grandmaster. And they're really freaking creative. Look at an international master, maybe a less slithery grandmaster. One of the credits to Magnus Carlsen, especially Paul Morphy, is, yeah, we see how great they are, how good of attackers they are finishing games. But what people don't appreciate, and probably why they're rated so high, is their ability to draw. Their ability to draw when on the rare occasion they mess up or their opponent makes a brilliancy. They find a way out, and it's just, and to me, that might be a big difference between international masters and grandmasters. Is everyone loses a game. Magnus Carlsen loses games. But how resourceful are they? They have the black pieces. Maybe they didn't play their best. The lesser opponent played a great game. And international masters and grandmasters, to me, it's just a different ballpark. Trying to drink my Pepsi with the lid on. And this is something that, I mean, a lot of people would say that 2000 is maybe getting to where you could be considered an expert player, a really good club player. Nah, I've seen good club players. I ain't nowhere near them yet. Again, St. Louis is one of the best chess cities in the world, not just America. So I even think like a 2000 club player in St. Louis would be a little more annoying, possibly, than a 2000 elsewhere, because they're playing better competition, you could say, and also they've probably taken some classes. Like a street player, to me, like when I watch the Hustlers, when the Botez sisters or anyone is hustling some of the better street players in New York, which to my knowledge, I think the Botez sisters, or at least Alex, and a lot of well, they're titled, but she said herself she gets women's titles. But they're about even. The lower end of titled players, pretty similar to the very best hustlers, I think. Because when you watch the grandmasters play the hustlers, like I saw Maurice, Ashley, a few more grandmasters when they were younger, and now he's probably not as strong as he used to be because he commentates. He's not old, but I mean they just have a field day with some of the better hustlers. Maurice Ashley, I don't think he's a grandmaster. The big buff guy from Detroit does a lot of bullet streams. James Canty, they would all. I know Chess.com CEO's international master. They're much better than the Botez sisters at chess. And none of the hustlers in New York are going to draw international masters or grandmasters. It will be a bloodbath. But some of the professional streamers, they might rather play a street player. That is 2000, but they're just playing a lot of street chess, trying to do tricks and gambits. Because streamers and title players are skilled enough to exploit those weaknesses and those bad habits. Whereas I would rather play a really good club player, a 2000 level club player that's very technically correct and has been doing the right things, not just trying to be flashy. Kind of like why a lot of people would prefer not to play chess with Magnus. You could throw a lot of crazy things at me that aren't the best moves, and I don't know, if I haven't seen it, I might fall for it one time, like a street player might. But the really skilled players that play properly, sometimes I can hang with them and then get my chances in the end game. But the point, I ranted that this is not expert club play. This is bad. I think Hikaru, I forget the number he used when he was analyzing Tyler, won, but like a 2000 level online player, I think he said was like between 16 and 1800. If you're 2000 on chess.com, that is, maybe you're 16 to 1800. I want to say that's what he said. Don't quote me. No, man, it's so inflated online. Or maybe I'm just an exception because I played during COVID and I played it so much online that I'm just comfortable with it. But I'm not a 15. I think I'm about a 1500 player. Like if I have my dog at daycare and I just got to only play chess, like I can do and focus online. That's probably the main variables. I can just focus. I don't have to worry about anything when I'm playing online. Whereas kids, they can go to the club, they don't have any responsibilities. I got a dog. I got to do some stuff. But I would say I'm a 1500 level USCF player. I'm completely locked in. And I'm easily 2000 in all-time controls on chess.com. And this is why. Club players do not. I mean, I don't know if I'd have made that move. I mean, you're not getting a pawn back. But at the same time, as I mentioned, you better be really good. And I still have the advantage because you can't have your pawns broken up like this when my pawns are intact. Even if you get one of my pawns and you're up a pawn, I would still take my position because that's weak. You're going to have to push that, and your king's got no protection. It's just bad planning. They don't plan, but they're fine. Parts of their game are fine. So you wanted that. And then another, there's the mistake. I get one mistake, one obvious mistake, which those pawns, that was bad moves. I would call those inaccuracies, even though the computer might have called it a mistake. That's a mistake. That's just a blatant error. And you gave up your bishop pair, which was really, really good. Now recognize my rook would come in and protect. And as I mentioned, the only way you can try to, not accept that trade is to go there and protect your bishop, and now I'm going to eventually pin you. I'm a lot better than these people. It's just the way it is. And I which see the fourth card hard. You got to really have a plan. And that, to me, that's a good move. That's a dumb move because it's only good if you know why you did it. You don't know why you did that. I prefer to be there. You want e5? Why? Yeah. Let's see. I was making up for lost time because I was singing Rob Thomas during the opening. That's all you got to do to win at this level. Yeah. My plan, my thought process was fine. I'm going to lose the game. And how much time did you spend? See, and that's terrible. And that's where online chess can develop bad habits. So it's a fabulous tool. 8:16. I've been saying I've been screwing around. I'm chatting you to prove I'm screwing around. You're way ahead on clock. There's no, aside from the only thing to do until I make that mistake and I weaken this, there's no clear plan. I mean, it's all pretty, you got to get your bishop involved. I mean, you're thinking about something like that, looking at maybe how my pawns could come, but there's no reason in this situation, even if I didn't blunder, that you should be making moves that quick. And those are just lack of focus things, beating yourself. So I figured they were both good. And if I take there, and that is a good example, is I made you make a decision. So here, you really only have, I guess you can do some other stuff. I didn't figure so. But I figured your only move is there. Whereas if I do that, I still thought you would take. But you do have to think about that. I mean, it's not obvious, and clearly it's actually better to push. So I made you make a decision, which is often how, if you're newer or you just don't know what to do in a position, and you realize all moves are fine, just make the opponent decide something. The pawn move I made, you have to make a decision. You made the wrong one. The other one, it's pretty clear. You have a check. And I made that move quick. So I didn't think it was going to matter much. And this person's not playing very good. So I figured you might take, which would have been a mistake. And if not, Now my pawns are very solid. And you made the wrong decision again. Rook a8 at e1. You don't want me to take the free pawn? Because bishop d8. Bishop takes on c8. Bishop a6. g5. Yeah. See, and they're not at this level. They're not going to love. They're not going to be comfortable with things like that. To get their bishop some scope, they're not going to want to go back. It's very rare that they do. And I'm just really just keeping an eye on that pawn. And now you want to bring all of Batman computers are so intelligent. And now you're gonna and this is where chess is easy. There's not much to think about. There's a lot that can happen, especially in the end game. You can get nasty. You get real nasty, but nasty in a beautiful, fun way. Okay. Hope I had some subs to battle, but it's good. You're not playing chess on Christmas like I am, though. I did just watch a comedy, stand-up comedy special that Nate Bargatze with my family. Been a good day, so we're going to cap it with my one rapid. Let's admire my stats just really, really briefly. How many wins in a row is that? Okay, one, uno, dos. Ooh. Okay, so just two because I drew that game. Okay. Okay, so 99.6, 70,000. She outside. I'm coming. Yeah, she will be though. I'm coming now. All right. Merry Christmas.